Okay, so in step one, formative, for the car module, you guys traced your favorite car or some car, and now we're going to try to get this to fit to your design. By the way, you do not absolutely have to do a car that looks like a real car, but it is one of the ways of getting level 3 for your design. So if you have this design, notice I have no dimensions in. But at this point, you've already sketched the top view, or the piece that faces the top view, which I'm calling the base of the car that was due last week. Now we're trying to get this side piece to fit with the other piece, with the piece you turned in last week, the base of the car. Now the base of the car could go in at the bottom, right? Truly be at the base, or it might be somewhere like in the middle of the car around here. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you are envisioning. I made mine connected at the bottom because I wanted it to look as realistic as possible. So what you need to do basically is, once you have this sketch, make sure you have no dimensions. And as soon as you put on a single dimension, then the car will resize, and all the sketches, all the lines will adjust accordingly. So for example, let's say I want this car to, the overall length of my car to be 12 inches. I might go from the very front to the very back, and right now it says 8, but if I click on it and change it to 12, right, and now I'm going to zoom out, it has resized, whoops, Control Z, it has resized everything, okay? So now I can start putting other dimensions on to get things to fit. Where you want to pay really close attention is where the notches are, so that this piece connects to the other piece. So, I might start drawing, a little section, maybe I have a couple sections, I don't know, where this car is going to connect to the base, right? So I might draw this little piece, use my trim tool to take this section away. Now let's take a look at it. So this notch might be where it connects to the base or something like that. Or you might have it the other way around. You might need this piece to stick down. So maybe you actually need it to be more like so, right? And then you need to dimension it. I'm gonna go ahead and give you this dimension, right? As a freebie, the distance from here to here, right, should be about 0.135. If you measure the thickness of the wood, right, then it's about 0.135. It's not exactly 0.125, I don't think. But your job is to figure out, well, what is this dimension supposed to be, right? Well, it should be whatever matches the opening of the piece on the base that's going to receive this little indentation, okay? You also need to locate this. In other words, how far is this from the wheels, right? What is this dimension? If you don't put in this dimension, then it's not clear where this little piece sticks down, right? So you want to coordinate that with your base sketch as much as possible, so that all your pieces come together as a puzzle. The other thing to keep in mind is the size of the wheels, right? Go ahead and dimension it. That is the radius, the number that pops up. And if that's not going to fit the plastic wheel, you might have to modify or redraw that part. So in other words, you could put on your circle tool, come to the same center. You could draw a larger circle, right? And then say, okay, now let's use my trim tool to trim away some of those pieces. You get the idea. A little bit of work. But now you have a new circle that's going to fit that plastic wheel. So, because you didn't size the car based on the wheel, you sized it based on the overall length, which is probably more important for looks. If you wanted to size it based on the wheel, you could. So those are some tips. Don't forget, if you're going for level 3, you probably should have a piece right here, right? Something like this, an opening, so that the bracing piece in the middle can connect the two sides of the car. And both the size and location of that rectangle or